We're back, chat. Donkey Kong Country. There we go. Chat, welcome back. My hair is tall. Let's put this down. We have hats for this. Chat, welcome back. We've got a stream for you today. I need my shiny hunting hat, obviously. Hooch, welcome in. Mark Carter, welcome in. And folks, we got a fun little JoJo joining us today.
Well, excuse
Mullet is
me,
killing it.
princess.
Thank you. Well, excuse me, Hooch Brando. Thank you for the resubscribe. JoJo is very thankful for it as well. See? So thankful. Look at that. Chat, welcome back. We are back with some more Unown hunting. We're going to have JoJo here to join us. His breath stinks. Isn't that right? Isn't that right, JoJo? Welcome back, everybody. How was your weekend? Mine was very good. I'm very tired and sunburnt. I'll keep your thing here as close as possible for you. Oh, alright. Sorry, I'm still getting kind of set up here. I meant to start at 5, and then by the time I was, like, done doing all the things that I needed to do before stream, it was already, like, 5:06, and I'm like, I'm just going to give myself a breather here. We're going to start at 6. I'm going to be watching from the gym. Weekend was good. Spent a ton of time in the river. Nice! That's a lot of fun. Sounds like fun. Yeah, I've been outside pretty much all weekend, which is my reminder that I need to put on chapstick because my lips are very chapped. So I'm going to do that real quick. JoJo's freaking out because he's like, why does he keep getting up? Why does he keep getting up and making me think that he's going to get a treat for me or something? That's not the case. We're not getting a treat for him. I'm just grabbing my chapstick. He sees the chapstick and he's like, oh yeah, that's absolutely a treat. That's a treat for me. What else would it be for? No, you don't want that, bud. Alright. But yeah, we're gonna get into position. We're gonna get all our systems started here. I had a fun weekend. While I was on the plane, I found a shiny Slagoo in the Friend Safari. So that was a fun little thing to do. I did about 162. I did 162 encounters before I found it, and then I did another like 175 after that, but didn't find anything. I was just hunting in a Dragon Safari. Okay, I think that's everything. So now we just got to get the camera set up. So let's go ahead and do that. Jojo's losing his mind right now. He's like, I came all the way up here. I waited outside for this long just to not get a treat. We are actually, I'm pretty sure we're out of JoJo treats, which means that's something that I'm going to have to remove from the redeems. So don't redeem a JoJo treat today. We do not have more of those yet. But yeah, let's get the systems running here. I just brought the 3DS with me over the weekend, and I was like, maybe I'll grind out some like more progress on my Soul Silver file. That's what I'll do. And then I remembered that my 3DS is, like, for whatever reason, incompatible with my Soul Silver, and I have no idea why. We're gonna get some random beeps. We can get those going. Let's see. Got the number. Alright, Hooch, your random beeps are on the way. Oh, we still got the 3D screen turned on. those in place. What we're going to do is we're going to pull all these screens just a little bit forward. Oh yeah, we got those volumes nice and loud. All right, I think that's everything. I'm gonna take a sip of my Dr. Pepper. We will not be getting a Sly Weasel tonight. Sly Weasel's going to be going to see a movie. I will not be able to join. My car is currently in the shop. The transmission has been really funky on it lately. And it's just been super annoying. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've been able to deal with it. And I've been able to at least drive certain distances. But any sort of long trips or trips into places that require a lot of stop and start traffic are just brutal to drive through. Catch that. I'm also seeing that my lighting, my system... Oh no, I don't want to close the software. I guess I have to. Alright, so let me do that then. I gotta turn the brightness up one tick on the 3DS. I remember I had it low on the airplane. So one fix. But yeah, my transmission's been super funky lately. So I got it in the shop finally. Because it's basically to the point where I either need to get it repaired or I need to get it replaced. I need to just get a new car. So I'm kind of doing a last-ditch effort because I do have a warranty on the transmission. The transmission I just got replaced less than a year ago, and I have not done the 24,000 mile warranty on it yet. So in theory I should get the new transmission for free. I'll just have to pay for the labor, but that's gonna save me a ton of money if that ends up being the case. Now, what they're doing right now is they're taking it into, the Nissan location, or, whatever it is, to confirm that, the transmission is faulty. They're, checking some error code on it. And if the error code lines up with what, the mechanic said, and that it's something that needs to be replaced, then it'll be considered a faulty transmission and the warranty will go through. However, if they deem that something happened either with an accident but there was no accident, if there was some sort of damage that was done externally to the car that is causing it, then I could lose out on the warranty and then I wouldn't be able to get the car back. Or I wouldn't be able to, get the transmission for free anymore. So, a whole bunch of messy stuff that I've been kind of putting off for a while because, money. But, I'm hoping we can get it resolved soon. I should be able to find... I've been basically ready for a call at any point today, and I have to be ready for a call at any point this week. So, that's been the... I don't know. It's the one thing that I've got going on this week. Other than that, I picked the perfect week to have my car in the shop because I'm literally not going anywhere. And then all the places that I do need to go to, I'm actually, driving with somebody else for. So... it works out perfectly. But yeah, folks, let me update you on kind of what we're planning for the rest of the week. If we stream tomorrow, it's going to be a 1 p.m. start for that stream. And then I'm gonna go for like 4 hours, however many encounters I'm able to get in. My hard stop is like 5:30. 5:30 Central. Probably will wrap up around like 5 if I had to guess. So we're gonna do an early stream tomorrow, and then on Thursday is potentially a daytime stream again, so it'll be another 1 p.m. start. We're trying to hit that 350k before we get too far into May. But I'm confident we can get a lot of that progress done, not just this week, but next week as well. So that's Wednesday, Thursday. Hang on, I have my planner here. Let me check what I've got listed for Friday. Yeah, nothing for Friday. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we've got stream tonight, stream tomorrow, daytime, stream Thursday, daytime, stream Friday, daytime, and then potentially some streams in the daytime on Saturday, and maybe a Sunday night stream. And that's not even, like, we got a Monday and a Tuesday coming up as well. So, like, I am not, like, I could stream pretty much every day this week. It's just how often do I want to do some daytime streams. So, like, because we've got so many stream days coming up down the road, I'm thinking of taking Thursday off completely. Because my big goal is I just want to hit 350,000. That's what I want to hit. Whatever we can do extra on top of that is obviously going to be good. But we've got roughly 13,000 more encounters that we want to do. And I think we can do them all in the process of, like, the next week from now. You know what I mean? And that's not even, we're not gonna, like, dead stop there either. I mean, we're gonna go until my schedule literally doesn't allow me to stream weekly, like I mentioned. And then we're gonna try to manage at least one stream a week going forward from there. The summer, as I mentioned, gets very busy for me. And I also, on those days that I do have available, I don't want to spend them inside on a stream. I'm very, like, motivated by warm weather. Like, if the weather's nice out, I am outside. That's my motivation. Which is why I'm a very good fall and winter streamer. Fall, winter, spring. I will stream as much as I can. But do not be surprised if the streaming does go down throughout the summer. I will try to fill as many days as I can throughout the summer as well. But we are also eyeing a subathon stream for the 200th stream. We're looking at doing a roaming Suicune event where we do as many roaming Suicune encounters as are redeemed throughout the subathon, and the sub triggers 10 roaming Suicune encounters. A gifted sub triggers 15 roaming Suicune encounters. So we got a lot of fun stuff down the road for that. So I'm going to try to do my best to kind of create some build-up for that. I don't know when that exact stream 200 is going to happen. All I know is that we're going to have at least 6 or 7 days dedicated to Safari Week, and we've got whatever streams we got coming up through the rest of this week. So if I'm able to find a weekend where a subathon stream makes sense, we're going to try to get that going, probably closer to the fall when I know my schedule is going to be freed up a bit. But, I mean, in the meantime, we're just going to keep hunting. We're looking for 2 letters still. We're looking for the letter G, and we're looking for the letter Q. The letter G has a 25% encounter rate on Fire Red and Leaf Green. The Q will have a 6% encounter rate at best once we start hunting for that on the Game Boy Advanced. But right now, both of those letters have somewhere between a 4 and 5% encounter rate on each system, depending on which system. Have you got names picked out yet? For G, I am kind of gonna let that one be decided by what feels right. So if like I've got something going on throughout the day, where it makes sense, like if a JoJo treat just happens or something along those lines, then like obviously it'll get named after JoJo, something along those lines. It'll probably be dictated by like what food I'm eating or like what recently happened, things like that. Like G, I'm gonna let kind of fall under that category. The letter Q, I have a name picked out. But it requires the letter Q to be the last letter of the hunt for that name to make sense. But yeah, I'll let the vibe of the stream kind of dictate the letter G. Q, I've got one in mind. Also, if at any point we actually do get the letter G, I will be taking pretty much the rest of it. Like, if we ever find G, the stream ends. And that's going to apply to, like, every stream going forward. And it's not because, like, I'm lazy. It's I have a lot that needs to be set up to anticipate the last letter of the hunt. And it's going to require a lot of offline work and some overlay building and some other stuff that I have in mind that I don't want to set up in case I find the Q first. Because if I find the Q first, then I don't want to go through with any of the overlay stuff. It's all centered around the letter Q being the last letter. Which is why I really want to get G out of the way so that I don't have to think about it again. That I can just, like, take the stream off and get it. Mark Carter, yes, I did see the green bat. Congratulations on that. Were you phasing for something else, or was Zubat the target? That makes sense. I'm rooting for G. I am too. Yeah, I want it out of the way. I'm hoping we can get it on this Fire Red copy on the bottom right. Because the only other letter that was caught on there was the letter L. And we haven't caught another target on it since then. That's like, we're talking like since phase 27 we haven't seen a shiny on Fire Red. Which is kind of crazy. I wanted Aeron, but wasn't going to be upset about getting whatever in there. But Abra, since I already got Abra and Fire Red. Gotcha. Yeah, Abra is, like, cool in any other game, but because it's the easiest shiny to find in Fire Red and Leaf Green, I feel like it kind of loses its merit if you find it anywhere else, just because you can get it from the game corner. Especially in Leaf Green as well. It's like way cheaper in Leaf Green compared to Fire Red. Which is weird, honestly, but it's whatever. But I mean, hey, if you're ever like looking to find your secret ID on a file, Abra at the game corner is the best way to do it. Also, I have kind of no scope for how many encounters I want to do tonight. Tonight, I'm thinking... I don't know. Part of me wants to just get my 3,000 in and be done, but part of me also just wants to, like, you know, wrap this challenge up as quickly as possible. Like, we're going to go over 340,000 encounters tonight, so it's just a matter of, like, how much further I want to push after that. But yeah, I'm kind of flying free tonight. We started at 2,100, so what we could do is we could do 3,900 encounters, and that gets us to a square 6,000. And we have a wild Bagon. Anybody's looking for a Bagon? I think I have a nest ball. I do, okay. Yeah, the past futures event in the PCG has ended. I hope everybody got everything they were looking for throughout that event. Rolled a square 800. Nice job, Mark Carter. Doesn't get you anything, but it's a cool number. But yeah, I'm thinking we can get to a square 6,000 tonight. Which would mean our halfway point would be 1,800 encounters, which would be at 3,900 tonight. And again, if we find any letter G, ending the stream. And also, like, if it's early in the stream, I can even show you, like, the overlays that I'm working on. Just because, like, it's the first thing I'm going to start doing as soon as we find the G. So I want to have, like, if we find a G early enough in stream, I'll be happy to, like, just do Photoshop stuff while I'm here. Obviously depends on the day, but like tonight is a dedicated stream night, so I would try to stream as much as I can if we found the G early. And honestly, I can't even talk about finding shinies early. You saw what our last phase was, 24,738 encounters, which is over triple odds and broke our record for longest phase of the hunt. Which is still crazy that we went through that. And it's amazing, like, how quick the shiny appeared right after that. Like, right after we passed all the milestones, it immediately appeared. But, I don't know, I'm kind of craving a shiny on Fire Red and Leaf Green again, so I'm hoping we can get one to appear sometime soon. That's kind of the motivation to do as many encounters per stream as possible, just because, like, I don't know. I feel like if by doing 3,900 encounters in a single night, you're basically right under half odds. And at that point, it's just a 50-50 on whether or not you find something. Like, theoretically, right? Theoretically, if you do 4,096 encounters in one night, it's basically a 50-50 chance of whether or not you find a shiny, according to those odds. And we just happened to flip tails like 6 times? 6 times, basically. I've enjoyed the 3,000 encounters per stream though. That's been at least a good standard to hold myself to. I usually do around 500 encounters a day between 2 games, but makes it easier while playing on 2 GameCubes. Yeah, I'm looking forward to hunting on the GameCubes for Safari Week. The way I'm going to be operating them is, so I'm planning on using the Game Boy Advances for this. I've got the GameCube like controller cords that go from the Game Boy adapter into the GameCube, and I'm planning on hooking those up to use as controllers for the Safari fishing event. And then I'm just gonna like operate between those, and I'm looking to have like a number keypad that's USB connected to my computer that I can have in between them, and I can literally just sit back in my chair and do this hunt. So I'm looking forward to Safari Week, because even though I'm going to be hunting on 4 less systems, where I'm going down to 2 systems, I'm going to have the longevity to do like way more encounters than I typically can. Easier ways is more efficient, yes, absolutely. So if I'm only hunting on 2 systems, to reach my like 3,000 encounters per stream that I do with 6 systems, which is 500 encounters per system, right? That means I would just need to do 1,000 encounters to reach the same pace at which I do 3,000 on 6 systems. And we could even do that quicker, because I'm going to be alternating and like operating each one separately, rather than like syncing them up for each of these encounters like I'm doing with the Game Boys and the DSs. So I'm looking forward to Safari Week. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. We're getting our first 300 encounters down for the night. We don't have one appearing in the first 300 like we have had in recent streams, but not the most recent phase. I love Safari Week for other people, I just do not have the bravery to do it myself. Here's the thing. Think of Safari Week in that's why I'm excited to do Safari Week as a fisherman. Because think about it, if you're fishing, right, and you catch a fish, the only reason you'd ever keep the fish is if you planned on eating it. Otherwise, like, what's the point? You can't use the fish for anything. So, obviously, what you do while you're fishing is you do catch and release, right? You catch it, you take your picture with it, you weigh it, you do what you need to do to, like, check whatever you want to keep track of, and then you release it. And that's really what's happening in the Safari Zone when you're fishing the Safari Zone. So, like, if I catch any shiny, if I encounter any shiny, if I'm like doing the fishing in the Safari Zone and I land any sort of Pokemon that's a spawn, I have considered that a catch. I have landed it, it has appeared, and I got my picture of it. And if I want to like catch it and eat it and like or check its stats or anything like that, then so be it. However, because of that mindset, I have made myself okay with not securing the catch. Because it's really just catch and release. That's basically what Safari Week is. And you have a chance to, like, have it, you know? It's, as long as I do all of the required ball mechanics and like capture methods for Safari Week. As long as I'm doing everything in my power to maximize my chances of catching the Pokemon, it's out of my control. I've made peace with the fact that I'm not guaranteed to catch anything during Safari Week. But I will have pictures, I will have documentations of the catches, I will have all the things that a fisherman would have for a fishing trip. So that's why I've made myself okay with the fact that, like, I'm not guaranteed to catch anything. But I can absolutely land a Pokemon and get all the things that show that I found it. And that's just, I don't know, I feel like it's the spirit of Safari Week, because the ones that you are able to catch and actually secure and, like, add to your Pokedex and, like, have it so that, yes, this Pokemon is caught, and it was caught in a Safari Ball. I think that makes that shiny that much more special. Like, imagine if these Unowns could run away. That would, like, add a whole nother level to this hunt that I don't think anything would be lost by it. Sure, it'd be frustrating. Like, I'd find a letter that I would really want, and it would have a chance to run away. Like, that's what you're getting yourself into when you do it. Yeah, it's definitely cool to see that stuff in the Safari Zone. Because everybody's like... There are people that have seen the 1% shiny Dragonair. And that's special, right? But it's even more special to, like, you know, catch it, right? And somebody shook out the odds. It comes out to like a 1.18 million chance of not only finding the 1% Dragonair, but also catching it on top of it. When you factor in, like, all of the catching rates and flea rates and everything. It shakes out to be a 1.18 million chance. So we passed 338,000. So we will pass 341,000 encounters tonight. Assuming we go above 3,300. But yeah, I'm really excited for Safari Zone. It's gonna be a nice change up from all the Unown hunting we've been doing. Like, that's why Roamer Week was so fun. Roamer Week was like, alright, we're gonna take a break from these Unowns that I've been, like, straining my neck over, and we're just gonna sit back in the chair and hunt for Roaming Suicune. And there's, like, the hunt is so involved in that to be able to just kind of sit back in my chair and, like, predict where I think the Suicune's gonna appear and trying to maximize the efficiency of that hunt has been so much fun that it takes your mind off the fact that you're doing so little encounters in the amount of time that it takes to do them. And then with Safari Week, I'm actually going to be using a new, like, muscle memory method of, like, operating this. So it's going to be kind of a learning curve at the beginning, but I'm really excited to test it out and see, like, how efficient I can get at operating two different systems out of sync from each other. So that aspect of it will be very interesting. So we'll see how that goes. Alright, so I think JoJo completely left my room, but oh well. So yeah, I didn't. The flights back were horrid from the weekend. I flew back Monday. My flight was at 5:25 a.m., which means I had to be at the airport at like 3, basically, just to like guarantee that no errors and everything. So that was a mess, but. So I didn't sleep at all that night because it was the day after we wrapped up festivities. So obviously we were drinking and none of us went to sleep. So like I didn't sleep pretty much at all during those 2 flights back home. So I got home, I had to take my car to the mechanic, and then I had to Uber back from taking it to the mechanic. Because it's on the other side of town and I wasn't going to ask any of my roommates to do that. And then I got home and I slept from like midnight until, midnight until like, noon until like 6. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'm caught up on sleep now. No way I'm streaming. So that's why I did not stream yesterday. And I'm gonna attempt to catch here. But yeah. Jojo. Alright, give me a sec. I gotta see what he's barking about. Jojo. I think he just saw something out the window. So yeah, this is like day 2 of my let's get back onto a regular sleep schedule. And it's going about as well as it could go on the second day. I stayed up until like, okay, I had to stay up until like 8 today. 8 a.m. because I needed to call back the mechanic that was looking at my car. Because I missed his call while I was asleep the day before. So I had to call him back, and then I slept until like 2? 2 sounds right? So I got like 4 hours of sleep. But if you count the 6 hours that I got, and if you only count like half of those, then I really got like 7 hours of sleep. So the trick tonight is to make sure that I actually go to bed at like my 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. typical bedtime, and then I'll be good to go. I do not recognize this song either. Also, I know we were talking about the fact that I would rather find the G first. If we do find the shiny Q now, then like I'm not going to complain. Like, sure, it throws off, like, the narrative of this hunt that I was aiming for, but I'm not going to complain about finding Q too early. I want to let the RNG gods know right away that that is not what I want to happen. Oh, I probably have no volume on my 3DS right now. I'll change that. Okay. I also fixed the clock on the 3DS as well. The last shiny we got on Heart Gold did not have the current date. It had like a date in 2011 or something. Which is kind of annoying, but... It's also a duplicate, so I don't really care. Jackal, welcome in. We are back at it. I was out of town all weekend. My sleep schedule is coming back to normal. And we're hunting for unknowns. We're gonna try to hit 6,000 tonight. That's my goal. Butter up, buckle cups. Folks, we also have... Oh, it's a power hour. Alright. We can absolutely do that. Let me get to 2,700, and we can get that going. I want to get to a square number before we... put ourselves through that. What was I about to say? I don't remember anymore. So to remind y'all of what a power hour is, power hour means I do one dedicated hour of unknown hunts where I try to hunt as efficiently as I can for unknowns, which means taking no breaks outside of emergencies. And what else? What else would apply to this? I think if there's like an actual decent like Pokemon community game spawn, I will pause the counter for it. But the goal is to try to get as many unknown encounters as we can fit within an hour. So it not only helps us for tracking our efficiency with like how many we can actually complete in an hour, it also helps us get 1,000 encounters roughly uninterrupted within reason. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to track it for every 300 rather than keeping track of every 100. That'll be a better way to, I don't know, not kill myself over this. What I am going to do is once we hit 2,700, I'm going to take like a quick break to just kind of sit back in my chair for a little bit. I'm going to run an ad, and then we will get going with the hunt, the power hour. And statistically, half the times I do it, you get a shiny. That's very true, Jackal. That is true. Yes, I believe you've run 2 so far, and the last one is when we got our shiny E, which is phase 46. This is going to get us to 2,700. And again, if any shiny appears during the power hour, the person who redeemed the power hour, the power hour will cease, and the person who redeemed it will have their power hour refunded to them because the power hour was not completed. Alright, I'm going to run an ad real quick. Minimize the ad time while we're running this, and then once the ad concludes, we will get started. George's looking at me. He saw me roll back in my chair, and he's like, "Oh, are you getting up? You're going to go downstairs to the kitchen for a treat?" A treat? Don't wag your tail. Don't wag your tail. You wanna? I don't know. He's not paying attention anymore. I have to get all of the Dr. Pepper I can get now because I'm not gonna have any time to drink it during it. Lancet, welcome in. Lancet, we have a power hour coming up. which was redeemed by Laughin' Jackal. Stacks, welcome in. Also, folks, be sure to check out Chopin's channel. Chopin is playing a new game on Tuesdays. Tack and the Power of Juju. The GameCube streams are back. Be sure to check out Chopin's stream if you get the chance. Stacks, I'm doing great. I have arrived home from my weekend out of town. I'm sunburnt. I'm tired. I'm sleep deprived. But that does not change the fact that I want to get 3,900 encounters in tonight. So we've done 600 so far. We're gonna do another like 1,100-ish off of this power hour, and then we'll keep going. All right, so folks, let me get the counter up. I'm not gonna find it there. There's the spawn that we're looking for. Took your advice and hit the stream button yesterday. Hell yeah. I was not able to tune in. So what happened yesterday is I had a 5 a.m. flight and did not sleep the night before. So it was absolute hell while I was doing the flights. So it was not fun. And then once I got home, I had to drive my car to the mechanic and Uber back to my house. Safe to say, like, the whole thing was not, like, my favorite experience. But, I am glad it's over. And I'm glad that I'm home. I took my advice and had the Thunder Sweep. Had the Thunder Sweep Memphis? Hell yeah. Travel is rough. It is. But it's great when it's over. Sometimes I get a high from travel, but this is not one of those weekends because I was not well rested for it. Alright, I'm going to have a stopwatch going for this. That's why I'm trying not to do as much as possible, even though I work for transportation and could go for free. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I mean, thankfully I don't travel too often. It's just I deprived myself of sleep while doing this one, so it was kind of rough. All right. So we're gonna start these systems fresh. All right, I'm gonna hit timers in sync with each other. Okay. Power hour is in effect. We are non-stop hunting for Unown for 1 hour. We're gonna lap at every 300 encounters. Keep track of data that way. Again, it ends either due to an emergency, we hit an hour, or we find a shiny. And I'm gonna try to go as quickly as possible. I'm not gonna be taking any other redeems during the power hour. So we're just gonna rock with what we got. I'll say one thing that I've been doing a lot since I got back, or I guess since I woke up yesterday, is I've had this idea for... Does anybody play Magic? Magic the Gathering? Does anybody play Commander? Commander is a 100-card singleton format where you have a commander, which can be summoned at any point from your command zone. So you basically get to start with that card in your hand. And if it dies, it can be basically replayed at any time for a slightly higher value the more it dies. And I have built 2 decks. I am not like very well versed in Magic. But I have participated in drafts. Like, I know the basics of how the game works. Sure, do you play? Okay, cool. I'm looking at building a mount +1/+1 counter deck, which is built around Caradora, Heart of Alakrai. I can't remember the exact name of the thing. After the power hour is over, I'll actually just drop the deck list that I'm looking at making. But if anybody wants to like take a look at it, I'm currently like trying to fine tune it. I just want to get the best, most efficient cards to play for that style. Basically, the idea is that there's a mechanic in the game called Saddle, where if a mount creature, which has the saddle effect, if it is able to saddle with other creatures on it, it can proc the effects of not only the creature that is saddled on it, but also the mount that gets saddled. So the idea behind it is that the commander makes it so that every time a +1/+1 counter is placed on one of my creatures from an effect, the commander basically says, alright, however many +1/+1 counters you would have added on, add on another one. So every time I add one or more +1/+1 counters to one of my creatures, I essentially just get to add another one on top of it. I'm not doubling it, I'm not doing anything like that. But I'm adding just another one. And there are some cards that, because more than one +1/+1 counter is getting placed on a creature at a time, it makes it so that the effect on it is actually really good. Like, more effects get added to it. Some of them get like other abilities such as lifelink, draw cards, different things like that. And I really just want to kind of like stack up my field as big as I can, for the purposes of, like, you know, just getting a huge board state and then getting to swing everything I have at other players. So I'm looking forward to that aspect of it. But really casual, I have no interest in tournaments anymore. I'm too old for that. But every Wednesday during your Wii Shop Wednesdays I'm playing. Gotcha. Yeah, so I play with a group. We have banned a lot of cards, so like the ones that are considered game changers, if you look on like Moxfield, CEDH, or like Scryfall, any of those that list them as like game changers, or cards that are like super influential in the game, that if you're playing competitive tournaments, like they have to be in your decks. We just banned all of those. Like anything that like makes the game unfun, we just have banned. Because our ground rule, for the most part, is like, I don't know, it's a board game, right? I've always thought of Commander as a board game. You've got 4 friends playing at a table, and each is running kind of like their own setup for a game, right? They're all trying to do their own different things, and it's seeing how all of those cards interact with each other, right? So, yeah, I don't want to have to deal with a Smothering Tithe. I don't want to have to deal with, like, a Rhystic Study, different shit like that throughout a game. Like, that shit's not fun to play against, and we don't want to deal with that. So, we've kind of made a pretty succinct ban list. We've even banned Sol Ring, just because, like, getting that if one person gets that and another person doesn't get that, that can be super influential to like how you start your game. So we have Sol Ring banned in our plays, but yeah, so I have built this mount deck that it's green-white, right? So it's all about getting things that want to be mounted and then things that want to be in charge of saddling, because if a creature can survive by tapping on a turn, then it's able to get its effect that is able to bolster the rest of my field. So that's something that I've really wanted to build, because the latest deck that I built is a horse commander deck, where it's all about getting horses onto the field and trying to do as much damage as I can with horses. So that's been a lot of fun, but I've seen that some of the horses have this mount effect where, similar to like vehicles, they have saddle effects. But I don't want to have to deal with vehicles because vehicles cannot be used to attack until they've been crewed, and the mounts don't require that. The saddles don't require that. They can still attack if they want to. If it's casual, then all you really have to do is fine-tune your mana curve and the interactions will surprise you. Yes, it's a green-white identity, so again, an hour from now, I will drop the... Actually, you know what? I think that's a good reason to warrant the pause. So I'm going to go ahead and pause on both ends here. Let me go ahead and just drop the deck list. It'll be good to discuss. But yeah, our play group is casual, so it's nice. Alright, that is the deck. So I originally didn't have a lot of draw in the deck. I added the Duskborn Duelist or whatever it's called, which upon like it gaining any +1/+1 counters, I forgot what the exact interaction is, but when it gains, it draws me cards. So I also threw in Shamanic Revelation, I think. Reminiscent, I can't think of the exact name, but that one also is like a nice late game draw as well. So there's a little bit of draw in the deck. Some of the cards allow for it as well, but green and white. So there's a lot of fighting, there's a lot of ramp, and there's a lot of lifelink. So a lot of life gain back, which are kind of the two things I really like the most in Magic, is like gaining life and getting big. And that's exactly what a green-white commander is going to do for me. So, but yeah, the whole deck is just getting +1/+1 encounters stacked, and then proccing other effects due to the +1/+1 encounters. The saddles also are able to cause it as well. Causes a lot of my things to get tapped as well. So it's nice. I think it's probably the most cohesive deck that I have, other than Thrun, but Thrun's a Voltron deck, and Voltron is not. It's not fun to play as a whole. Like, here's the thing: when I'm playing like my horse deck, or if I'm playing like an actual Magic deck, there is a lot of like thinking and a lot of like procs and interactions that go off while I'm in the game. And those are fun. Like, it can be fun to do it, but it's also a lot to take in. If I ever want to not think while playing Commander, I will play Thrun, and then I can just load up Thrun with everything. And it's all better because of it. However, like, there's a game... We had a Commander night last week, and I played Thrun in a very long game, and Thrun kept getting killed without my ability to regenerate it. So I ended up paying, like, at one point, like 10 mana to get Thrun out on the field. And I was like, this sucks. Because I had to deal with 3 board wipes. And they were board wipes that I just could not deal with because I was using all of my mana just to get Thrun out on the field. So that by the time it was like out on the field, I had no mana left to regenerate it. And then the next board wipe would hit, and I'm just like, alright, I can't do anything in this game. So, my last experience with a Voltron deck sucked. But, not to say that, like, it's terrible, or it's a bad strategy, but, if you get a bad start, or you get, like, a bad few early turns out of Thrun, you're not gonna have a good time. Because a Voltron deck really is just, like, you're just waiting for your opponents to finish their turns so that you can do, like, the next step in your plan. And you just have to kind of let them focus on each other for a bit before they notice what you're doing. But if they're all, like, throwing board wipes out, you can't do anything about that. There's just nothing you can do about it. Also, the only way to, like, properly win with a Voltron deck is to kill with commander damage, right? But you don't want to target someone specifically down the entire time. You kind of have to spread your damage, but if you spread your damage, you're never going to win. So, I don't know. That's my problem with Voltron, but I was immediately told, like, yeah, you can run a Voltron deck, but these are the problems you're going to run into. And I'm like, cool, that's fine. I'm still learning the game. And now it's not something that I quite want to play that much anymore. But beside the point. I think I'm going to buy a lot of the cheap cards from this set. I don't want to have to print out proxies for everything, but I think I'll get all, like, the 49-cent and less cards and just get, like, the non-pristine versions of them. Get me, like, send me the damaged ones. I don't care. It's just a commander deck. So I'm thinking I'm gonna order, like, physical copies of a lot of the cards because I don't know. I enjoy having the physical cards more than proxies. But I will proxy the expensive ones because I'm not about to drop, like, over $100 on cards. I still have to buy, like, sleeves and a deck box and everything for this too, so. Just not something I want to mess with. Because I'm expecting this mount deck to actually be the commander deck that I run for a while. So I'm hoping I can... get like a good deck box with it, and I don't know, actually like complete the deck as well. So I'll have to check some card shops to see what bulk is remaining, which ones I can buy, and all that. I might use some of the Twitch money to cover it too. But yeah, we'll get like a buy list going, and we'll see how much it's actually going to cost. So the first 300 encounters took 17 minutes and 19 seconds. So our second set of 300 encounters should be quicker because we don't have to worry about the timers or anything like that. That is the one difficulty of these power hours, is it actually does put a fairly large strain on my neck. I don't get a lot of time to like actually stretch during these, so that part of it kind of sucks, but it's whatever. That's why I try to not do too many power hours in a row. I don't think I'll ever do 2 power hours in one stream, especially if like the first one puts a big strain on my neck. I'm just not gonna mess with that. Double Qs. I'm back. The power went out. Oh, sorry to hear that, Stax. We had some pretty wicked storms that came through our area yesterday. So I don't know if you're experiencing any of that, but we had like tornadoes come through and everything, but they didn't really hit us. They kind of hit the southern parts of the state, but didn't really hit the cities too much. Is yours from like severe storms like that, or are you talking like heat waves? Because I know heat waves are hitting not our country, but heat waves are hitting like Italy and Spain right now. Wind has been pretty wild. Gotcha. Yeah. Pretty wicked stuff. Guess we got to get that stuff out of the way before the summer starts. So, got to experience it now, I guess. Double Ks. Double Fs. Mark Carter, thank you for the hydrate. I will get to the hydrate as soon as we are done with the power hour. So, that'll be on the stack for a little bit. If I forget about it, feel free to remind me though. Rain is supposed to hit hard this weekend, it looks like. Yeah, we were able to dodge some storms while I was out of town this weekend, thankfully. But, yeah, I think we're due for some rain. We had some rain the week before I left for out of town, but... yeah, get it all out of the way now. It looked like a tornado just about 45 minutes ago where I'm at. Damn. Got some wicked weather around the country, folks. Neck kind of sucks right now, but that's a power hour. How's my favorite wet rat? Chosen one, welcome in. We are doing great. I got no sleep on Monday. Actually, as soon as I got back, I had to get my car in the shop. So I didn't go to sleep until about noon that day. Slept for like 6 hours. Woke up at like 6 or 7-ish. Went and saw a movie. And then stayed up way too late last night, honestly. But makes sense that, you know, with adjusting everything. Thankfully, I have a work schedule that allows me to do that. But we're back to full health here at the house. Slept through a few, then went to wrestling last night. I saw that. How was that? So we did that one in 16 minutes and 38 seconds. So our next 300 encounters are up. It was awesome. Took my dad again since he loves it. Hell yeah. I feel like that'd be a super fun event to go to. I remember going to one. Me and my friend, when I lived in Texas still, we went to a brewery. And while we were there, they were setting up this, like, impromptu local, like, wrestling federation in, like, the back room. So they had wrestling, like, planned to start. So we were like, alright, cool, we're just gonna stay and watch. And that was super fun. I think it's a lot cooler when you're, like, right by the ring and you get to see the stunts that they're performing up close. And just like all the physicality that goes into those moves that they're doing. So you gain an appreciation for it when you kind of get to see it at the ground level. So then when they're actually doing that at the WWE rank that they're doing it at, it's super cool to watch it because, you know, they're pros doing it. They're little pros making that shit work. So I gained an appreciation for it over the years. Is what I'll say to it. I went and saw Sinners. Oh, we have an ad break starting soon as well, but I can talk more about the movie once the ad break is over. This is the one ad break that is going to run during our power hour. Which, folks, we are in a power hour. We're doing 1 hour of non-stop unknown hunting. With no interruptions, no breaks, no anything, unless it's an emergency. Let me know how that was. Yes, I will. After this ad break, I will go into more detail about the movie. I'll try to go spoilerless, though. Moldy Goat, welcome in. Yeah, sorry I wasn't live yesterday. I was in the process of, like, fully recovering from not sleeping on the flights of the day before. So we did not stream yesterday, but I'm here today, and we're pounding out 3,900 encounters today. We started at 2,100. We're gonna go until we hit 6,000. Yeah, we'll do no spoilers about the movie. So, here's the thing. I actually slept very well on the plane. All things considered. The problem is, I just did not sleep the night before, because it was a 5 a.m. flight. Which means I had to, like, get up and be at the airport. Like, we left for the airport at, like, somewhere between 2:30 and 3. And we were up drinking the entire night, so we did not go to sleep that night. Well, I mean, okay, here's the thing. I knew that I was going to... I knew that I was, like, any effort to sleep would result in me missing my flight. So I knew what I got myself into when I booked that flight. I just know that I did not want to book a later flight. I did not want to spend any more time in Richmond, Virginia that I did not have to spend there. So I'm glad I took the flight that I did. Okay. Chosen One, we did not have fun because Richmond, Virginia is... Apologies if, like, anybody lives in Richmond or, like, in Virginia, but, like, that place sucks. I'm sorry. Richmond, Virginia's downtown is, like, a historic downtown that is, like, out of condition, falling apart, no nightlife. Like, it's bad. You were with friends, which makes it better at least? Yes. Okay. Honestly, like, when you're with friends, it's fine. Like, you can tolerate being in weird cities like that. The first two bars we went to, one closed their karaoke down at 10. So it closed down their karaoke before we even got there. And two, the second bar we went to, just wasn't open. Like, they were listed as open, and we showed up, and the door was locked, and nobody was there. Lights were on, nobody was home. So then we went to the third bar, and then we were good at the third bar for a little bit, and then we got kicked out of that bar because somebody brought in NA beers. Like, somebody brought in their own NA beers to the bar. Somebody saw the cans that worked there and was like, yeah, we don't stock that. Everybody get out. And we're like, that's kind of crazy because we're like half of your business. Like, we brought like 20 plus people in buying drinks that night. And we made up pretty much half of the people that were there. And they were still like, nope, close your tabs, get out of here. I'm like, that's crazy. Because we would have kept drinking there. But they kicked us out. It's definitely a decision. So, it's whatever. Like, it'd be one thing if you're, like, bringing in your own beers that, like, do have alcohol in them. But, like, if the bar doesn't stock NA beers, I feel like it's justified for you to bring your own NA beers. And if you work at the bar and you see somebody bringing in NA beers, I think you should let that slide. You know what I mean? So, it's whatever. I'm past it at this point. So, by the time we got kicked out of there and Ubered back to the hotel, I was like, I'm done. We're not going anywhere anymore. I got a flight to catch in an hour. So I just packed up the car or packed up my bags and stuff and got out of there. But at the fields at finals and everything was super fun. I'm very happy with how that went. Katie sent me a pic of her ankle when she got home. Yeah, so Katie showed me her ankle when we got off the plane to our in-between location. So, like, when we got to Chicago. She, like, took off her sock and showed us, and her ankle swelled up like a balloon. It was crazy. So, totally makes sense why they let her on. Because she's like, yeah, I literally rolled my ankle, which is why I couldn't stand up. I swear I'm not that drunk. And I was kind of like... Katie's definitely had her moments, but Katie was not as drunk as she has been before. And I felt bad because, like, she had to hobble around the entire airport in Chicago when we were, like, going to our next flights. It sucked. So, I don't know. That whole situation was weird. I feel bad because she probably was, like, super embarrassed. Like, she fell out of her chair after waking up. I almost think she was, like, sitting in such a weird position that she somehow, like, rolled her ankle while she was in the chair. I don't know what happened there, but... Weird just a weird thing. Warriors, I'm pretty sure, had an undefeated season, which was like... I don't think anybody was talking about that. Well, I even told the attendant her ankle was asleep, and she didn't believe me either. But couldn't stay any longer because I didn't want to possibly miss flight and have Laura fly alone. True, yeah. I'm glad they let her on, though. Like, I think she had to kind of, like, speak for herself and kind of defend herself there, which, like, I'm pissed that I was, like, super early on that part, so I couldn't be there to, like, help at all. Ben and Allie were on the flight, and they were, like, in the seats in front of me, and they're like, yeah, they're not letting Katie on. And I'm like, what? So I was, like, scrambling and texting all of our teammates, being like, hey, Katie might not be able to get on our flight, which is, like, a whole other thing that's gonna suck. But I saw Katie come on at the end, and I'm like, alright, cool. Glad that got resolved. Okay, yeah, that's super weird. I'm glad it all worked out how it did, and that we didn't have... Like, it could have been a lot worse for Katie, but... Yeah, the bruising on that ankle looks really bad. But I think she's just gotta... ice it. Get it back to its normal shape. It definitely looks like a sprain. I hope it's not a break of any sort. That would suck. But she's walking around on it today, so it can't be too terrible. And honestly, regarding the weekend, all things considered, I could have been way more sunburnt that weekend. So I'm very glad I did not get as sunburnt as I could have gotten. I've got like a little bit on the side of my necks and on my forearms, and that's it. I got like very slight burns on my face from day one, but I squashed that immediately on day 2. So it could have been way worse, and I'm glad it didn't. The shorts as a hood was the best decision I could have made that weekend. It probably protected me from getting like way more severe sunburns than I could have gotten. Neck for me and slightly on the tops of my hands. Oh yeah, tops of the hands are done. Like, I didn't put anything on those. Got 3 Gs. Alright, our next timestamp checkpoint is 3600. When was our last shiny? We got it last week on... Actually, do the command exclamation point last shiny. That's gonna be the best way to find it. There we go. April 21st. That was the longest phase of this hunt ever. And it was over triple odds. It's tough, but we've also had so much good luck on this hunt so far. The, like, 3 previous phases before that phase were all, like, less than half odds. So, again, I can't complain. I was actually kind of glad we went and broke the record. Oh, okay. So let me talk about Sinners. Sinners was fantastic. IMAX recommended for it. If you can spare the extra money to watch it in IMAX, you should. It's going to be running in IMAX for as long as it possibly can. God, it like they did such a good job at like not only establishing like I don't even want to call it like the magic system, but they did a really good job at establishing the lore and the magic in the world, which I thought was very cool. Vampires, fucking sweet. If you enjoy vampires, like this is probably one of the coolest vampire elements you'll see in a movie. Combat was a little weak, but all interactions between the characters before the fights and after the fights are super good. I think this is Ryan Coogler's best movie. And that's saying a lot because he's done all the Creed movies. He did Black Panther, both Black Panther movies. I think this is Ryan Coogler's best movie. And I hope people don't forget about this movie when the Oscars come around, because this was a very well done movie. Should see some action for original screenplay. Original or adapted, I can't remember what it's based on, or if it's like an original story. But should see some screenplay attention. Could win for songs as well. Best original song. Like, they did such a good job at weaving the music into the plot. Because I know a lot of movies will, like, try to force songs into the plot. Or they'll just put it, like, in the credits or whatever. The movie and its music were so well crafted together. Ludwig Göransson did the score and the music for the movie, and it was very good. Michael B. Jordan did a fantastic job with the movie. It's obviously like very graphic, violence, sex, the whole bit. So like obviously keep that in mind when you go see it, but very good movie. I'd even consider going to see it like a second time if I could. Why did my playlist change? All right, hang on. This is a pause moment. Why did it change? Oh my god, the Interstellar radio stream finally ended. Huh. How about that? Guess we're gonna rock with that playlist then. That was weird. Jojo. That one was 17 minutes and 44 seconds. That was a pretty long one. I also probably wasn't trying to go as fast as I possibly could on that one either, but that's beside the point. We will go over 1,000 encounters. It's just a matter of how many we can do after that. We're at 900 so far. 906 now. $14,000 away. The grind continues. It'll be exciting. Maximize those chances on the shiny rolls. It'll be a good time. Coming up on the end of the power hour soon, folks. We're going to try to hit the numbers that we need to. We're coming up on 1,000 here. We started at 2,700. We'll be passing 1,000 here in a second. And we're not going to hit 1,100. I know that. So it's really just a question of what number will we hit. So we're going to try to maximize our time here at the end. Maximize the efficiency. We're on the last minute. So we're gonna finish around like the 1,040 range. We might be right at 1,050. That is going to conclude it. Alright, we did 1,050 encounters over the course of 1 hour. We averaged about 1,700 encounters. Or 17 minutes, like 17 and change. Let's go like 17:15, 17:12. 17 minutes and 12 seconds per 300 encounters, roughly. Oh no, yeah, there's That's your power hour, Chet. Thank you for the redeem on that. Laughing Jackal. And Mark Carter, here is your hydrate. Thank you for the redeem. We got an ad coming up in about 3 minutes. I'm going to time my break with that one. Yeah, I'm probably going to let him outside during this ad break as well, so we're going to go ahead and time that up. So chat, thank you for the redeem. We're going to time up our ad break with this. So let's go ahead and set our Be Right Back in place. And then I'm going to leave you with the JoJo cam as we go ahead and take our break. We'll see y'all in a bit. Don't go away. break wrapping up. 3, 2, 1. I'm back on my end. Chat, welcome back. Go ahead and close the live split, and then what else do I need to set up? Sorry for the long break, folks. Dog needed to go outside. And I use the bathroom as well, so I got my time out of it. Yeah, another 2,300 encounters. Looks like. Piece of cake. Chopin, welcome in. Chopin, how was Tack the power of Juju? Getting our lights on here. We just came back from an ad break. We just got raided. There was one other thing I wanted to check. We got some sick power-ups. Hell yeah. That's exactly what I want to hear. But I'm tired as heck and couldn't keep going. That's understandable. Go ahead and take this time to decompress if you need to head out. No big deal either. I've been there. Video games can be pretty exhausting sometimes. For those joining, welcome in. We are going to be going until we hit 6,000 encounters tonight. We started at 2,100. So we got 3,900 encounters planned. We wrapped up a... whatchamacallit? We wrapped up a power hour that was redeemed by Laughin' Jackal. So we got 1,000 encounters done that way. And we just came back from a break. So I'm hoping I can grind through the remainder of it. Excuse me? Oh, what did I say? May you take your hat off? What about it? Oh, Stacks, your Wi-Fi went out? Why would I take my hat off? Oh, show my head? Okay. I just gotta touch it up a bit. The mullet's still here, it's just the length on the top is gone. No, I did not cut the mullet. The mullet is still, like, here. It's just harder to see. If it was that what you were asking, did you think I cut, like, my hair off? No, it is not gone. I did get a lot of volume taken off the top, though. And that's because I didn't want to deal with it while I was at Nationals. No. Well, okay, well, 2016 Ben didn't even have a beard. So, like, let's get one thing straight. But no, the mullet is here to stay. Here's the thing. You're not on Instagram, Chopin, so you would not see the posts that confirm that I'm keeping the mullet through the summer. I've negotiated a contract extension with the mullet. The mullet will be staying on for the summer MLQ season. Thank you very much. Okay, 2016 mix them. General Tso's chicken or pizza. Is that a College Humor reference? Instagram is for people with Instagram, not my kind of platform. Well, I mean, if you frame it that way, I guess it makes sense. A wild Arcanine appears. I will catch that. That's actually like a fairly cool spawn. Oh, are you asking me what to do for dinner? The chicken. Are these like... Are either of these leftovers, or are they like places that you're planning to go get food from? Oh, they're both frozen? Yeah, just do the chicken. Joke's on you. Get pranked. You got me, dude. Well, Stex, the good thing is you didn't really miss anything. I was basically just AFK for the last like 20 minutes. So you came back right as we were getting started again. Yep, WP Bear Tick secures it. If I had to guess whether or not we find something today, I would probably say no. This doesn't... If we would have found anything today, I feel like it would have been like early in the stream. I don't think we're gonna find anything like in this second half. Not to like discourage you guys from watching, but that's just what I have a hunch. Is Sly Weasel here? No, Sly Weasel is going to see a movie tonight. And he also had date night beforehand, so we have not gotten any Sly Weasel this evening. He's going to see The Accountant 2. I probably would have joined him tonight if I had a car, and I wouldn't ask him to, like, drive all the way out to pick me up and then drive all the way back to where his theater is, just to then drive me all the way back and then back to where he lives. Because it's like a 5-minute, like, car trip for him to the theater, and it's like a 15-minute for me. But yeah, car's out of commission right now. My car is in the shop for a transmission issue. No, we're not going to find a shiny tonight. That's exactly why. We do have our shiny hunting hat on, though, so we should be able to... As long as we wear this hat, we will eventually find a shiny. That's the rule. Honestly, if we get to the point where it's like late enough, I don't know if I want to like push too far into the night. Like if we get our base 3,000 encounters in, which is to get to 5,100 encounters, I'd be alright just finishing there for the night too. I don't know. We'll see how I feel. If we get a shiny anywhere past the halfway point, which is like right now. So if we were to find a shiny at any point, I'd probably just wrap for the night. I just want to get this G out of the way, man. I would love to find it and just be done. Done with, not only, like, the money portion of the challenge, but also to just, like, get it out of the way, man. Like, I want to hunt for Q on 6 systems as soon as possibly possible. And the G is the only thing that's holding me up from that. It's tough. I more so just want to find something on Fire Red. I feel like we've gone way too long without seeing anything on there, and it's very disappointing. Just get the Q now and hunt for the G on 6 systems faster. Dog. I'm already hunting for the G on 6 systems. I don't know what else to do. Now, mathematically, it makes more sense to hunt for the easiest letter to find, locate it, and then you can dedicate all of your resources to hunting for the hardest letter. Which is what we've done, and we're following that model based off of Carb Kaiser's recommendation. No, you didn't read it right. You got a hunt on 6 systems. I don't know what that means. I don't know what you mean by 6 versus 6. Help. I feel like I just lost brain cells. Me too, moldy goat. You gotta help me out here, Chopin. Throw me a bone. I started cackling when you stopped reading. You want me to soft reset? I know you're gaslighting me, but I'm entertaining it. I'm taking the bait on it. Oh. Okay. When you say soft reset, that is like a thing. Like, that's what we do for the Suicune hunt. Every time we don't find a Suicune, that's called a soft reset, where we reset the game. So when you say soft reset, I'm like, why would I soft reset for the unknowns? We just have to run away from them. Maybe I do. I need a... Everybody needs a soft reset every once in a while. The body needs a soft reset. But yeah, if we find any shiny for the remainder of the night, I'm probably just going to call it. Not to be that guy, but like... I need to ease back into these numbers again. I feel like I've been away from the hunt for too long now. And again, it's only like 5 days, but like 5 days off, it's actually kind of hard to get back into doing like 3,000 encounters in a night. We had like a wicked streak going where we were like, yeah, 4,200 encounters, yeah, that's fine. The 6,600 night will never be... I don't think I'll ever beat that. That was insane. That was when we got the raid from Sammy Snow, and I'm like, you know what? We're just gonna keep going. We've already made it this far, we might as well just like... Continue the process. Just force yourself to do a 48-hour stream tomorrow and you'll feel the fire again. Nope. Nope, no 48-hour stream. None of that. I do want to do a subathon though for stream 200. And if it doesn't end up going super long, if it goes like 12 to 16 hours, I'd be happy with it. But yeah, I want to set that up for some time in the fall. 48-hour stream for no reason. Pass. You're actually unhinged for suggesting that. You know what happened when we did 24 hours, right? We cannot do that. I'm late. Date night. Sly Weasel, welcome in. Are you leaving for the movie soon? Yeah, I made fire memes all night. What else? So you're gonna make fire memes for the 48-hour stream? You can go ahead and grab that shiny Q now. Thank you, Sly Weasel. I've actually been holding off from encountering it until you got here. Honestly, I figured I'd have to wait until after the movie, but here you are. I am leaving for the movie shortly. Yes. Alright, let me go ahead and locate that shiny Q now. I knew you were holding back for Sly. No other way to do it. Oh, no Q on that one. Here, let me do another one. Sorry, the Q is shy. It just needs a sec to like get its bearings and it'll appear on my screen. Alright, the Q wasn't there on that one. We're gonna get a Q on this one, though. Oh. Oh, no Q on that one here. We're gonna get a Q on this one. This time, this time, this time, this time. This time. Let's go gambling! Aw, dang it. 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 Still no Q, but like once the first Q appears, it's gonna be shiny. Sly. I promise. It's just late. It's stuck in traffic right now. It's shot me a text. It's gonna be here any minute now. I swear it'll be here. The Q. It'll be here. Let's go gambling. It really is. That meme is just... It's just this hunt. It really is just gambling. And you don't pay for the slot machine with coins, you just pay for it with your neck. We didn't budget for this many encounters, boss. If that Q doesn't show up soon, those goons are gonna come for the loan money. Ah, there's the Q. Q on top right. Alright, we found your Q. It is not shiny though, so I think there's something wrong with the game. But the clause says that the loan sharks cannot beat me up anymore because I located the Q. It's easy. I'm sure the loan sharks will eventually accept a shiny G. I just want to get this G taken care of before the summer starts. I don't want to have to deal with 2 letters throughout the summer. Because at best, I'm going to get like 1 stream in a week. And that's just going to be a pain to deal with. They won't stay gone forever, true. As long as I keep hunting, they'll eventually get got. There's another Q. Yeah. Sly, thanks for popping through. Hope the movie is good. Hope you enjoy it. Double G's. 3 G's. I honestly just miss seeing a shiny on the Game Boys. I'm getting mad that I'm not seeing something on there. I haven't seen anything in a while. The Fire Red's been a tease. Like, it's just taking forever for it to show up. It is at, like, 1 in 9,216 odds, though, but, like, come on. You can't stay hidden forever. You gotta show me something. It's part of the reason why I'm like, oh, maybe I missed a shiny. Like, in that, all of that, I probably just missed it. But I don't think that's the case. I would have noticed it. The DSs, I will never have that problem, but the Game Boys, you never know. No, I look at like every G that appears on my screen, and the Gs have not been shiny at least. But we do have another 1,000 encounters before we hit the 5,100, which would be 3,000 for the night. It's 3 Gs. We started at 2,100 tonight. I mean, you know what realistically is going to happen is we're going to go... This phase is going to go for like 15,000 total encounters. And we're actually not going to finish this phase until somewhere in the summer. That's what realistically is going to happen. We're going to have back-to-back like double odds phases. Which is going to suck, but... I just have to get myself in the mindset to actually, like, be ready for another long phase. And those are always tough, because, like, I really have to, like, convince myself that, like, yeah, I'm actually, like, okay with this one taking a long time. It's never okay. Especially at this point in the hunt, where I'm like, I would like this to end as soon as possible. Where I'd love to get to 27 as... realistically quickly as possible. But the chambers for these Gs are not great by any means. I don't know. I'm hoping Fire Red gives me something soon. Even if Fire Red, like, decides to just give me, like, a T or something. A T or a Y. I'm fine with that. It'll at least allow me to get out of that chamber. Let's switch to hunting for Q, so we'll be hunting for Q on 5 systems, and we'll be hunting on G for 5 systems, so... It'll be a good setup. I think something interesting is whether or not the DSs yield any of the remaining 2 letters if the DSs get either the G or the Q. I think it could realistically yield the Q just after enough encounters. Like I feel like it has to mathematically eventually hit. But I think the odds for us to find the G are like too good to not hit on the Game Boys. Like we'd have to get super lucky to hit the G before the G on the DS before hitting the G on the Game Boy. Part of me wants to like continue hunting this offline in my spare time, but I don't think I should. Like, I would hate to find one of the letters we need off stream. Plus, I feel like it removes the whole spirit of this hunt, which is like getting the live reactions with people in chat. I thought about it though. I mean, that's why like when I got on the plane this weekend, I was like, I'm just gonna hunt for Friend Safari Pokemon. We also get some fun, what do you call it? We get some fun palindromes now that we're in these 4,000 spots. There goes Jojo. So if Jojo doesn't come back, then that means Nando's home. If he does come back, that means Nando's not home. Oh, good call. I don't think I've seen an Aeron. Do I have an Aeron? Let's find out. Oh, I do have one. Okay, cool. I will just throw a basic ball then. Oh crap, the Wild are playing right now? Alright, let me get that up on the second monitor. Let me do that real quick, folks. Let me do that just real quick. NHL.
Season. And
Water bottle over here. Series is tied 2-2 so far between the Wild and the Vegas Golden Knights. And I have to be careful not to miss shinies while this game is going on because I know it's going to happen. 2v2. Shit. High stick on Vegas. It's a Minnesota Wild power play. I'd love to see that. Yep, that's a high stick. If I had to imagine, I'll probably be done with stream before the game is over. So that'll be nice. Be able to catch the last part of it. And then we should get a basketball game Wednesday night? Wednesday night, maybe? Actually, hang on. Do the Wolves play tonight? Alright, Wolves play tomorrow night at 9. Heard. Alright, I'm gonna watch this power play and then we'll continue. And we actually got scored on. We got scored on shorthanded. That is unbelievable. Okay. All right. That's just poorly executed, man. That's tough. Oh, we got it! Immediately answered. Wow. That was an incredible pass. Alright, so Vegas ends up actually winning that exchange because the penalty is now killed, but they actually didn't lose anything on it. Gosh, that's just an insane pass. Wow. Oh, and then they got 5-hold. Ha! Amazing. Okay. I'm going to keep hunting them. We're going to pass 340,000 encounters here in a bit. I mean, let's be real. If I'm realistically going to be able to eat at a decent time tonight, I probably should just rapid fire at 5100. That's what I want to have to do, but... offside. Alright, we're gonna go to another ad break. Yeah, 4G's on our screen right now. 4G connection right now. Amazing. Alright, officially over 340,000 encounters. So we're 10,000 away from hitting our goal, which I think we can realistically do this week. It's gonna take like 3 more streams of doing just the base amount of encounters, and we'll be there. If we really wanted to, I think we could complete it before the start of May, but I'm not going to force myself through that. We're just going to get our encounters in, and that'll be that. So this is the last phase before the summer that could go over 10,000 encounters. One on two. Okay. I tried sending it up there. Yeah, if we wrap up at 5,100, we're probably got 600 more encounters to go. Oh, crap, they scored. I have to see the replay here. Oh, man, they got it from like out range too. That sucks. I wonder if they're going to review that, because the guy was in the crease. Nah, they're not going to review that at all. Or are they? Wait, hang on. Just catch a little bit of it.
Right on the edge of the blue paint. What do you think? The challenge here by John Hines.
Well, Bob, this is a really risky challenge. I wouldn't challenge this personally. From the one look I had on the overhead camera, he's right there on the line, right there on the line. He's there on his own. He's not making contact with the goaltender. The shot comes, I mean, there is incidental contact. Now, they have to determine in Toronto if his presence in the crease prevented the goaltender from doing his job.
It did.
I don't think it did. I think this goal is going to stand, but hey, I mean, why not challenge it? There was contact. He did get there on his own. I just don't think it's enough contact. That's just my personal opinion.
All right, so we're waiting for a call on this. I don't know what they're going to give us.
After Minnesota coaches challenge, the ruling on the ice stands. It is a good goal.
Crap. Okay. So it's going to stand. I get wanting to challenge it. Because he was in the crease. He was in the crease at one point, and you could say that him being in the crease affected our ability to get the goal. I just don't think there was enough to take away, you know, like a good playoff goal. Like, I feel like it's got to be pretty substantial to call something off like that. This is unfortunate, but oh well. Wait, why are they on a power play? What? What did I miss? Dog, whatever. Good ice. we go. Alright, we'll properly kill that one. Oh. Crap. We had a breakaway and missed it. Alright, I gotta finish this hunt tonight. Oh, we almost got it again. Stop. Pretty sure I have a Swirlix, but I'm gonna throw it anyways. Another commercial break. Oh, they're doing that at... You ever seen those commercial breaks where, like, they, like, do the split screen where they've got the game on one side and then they have an ad pop up, like, on the right side? I just had one of those happen. They're getting creative, chat. They're getting creative with how they do these ads. I wish they did that with, like, Twitch streams. I would love to have the ad going with, like, my audio turned off and just have, like, a single ad pop up. That's all I want. That way you can still, like, see the hunt. You're not missing anything. I don't know. Guess that's asking too much, apparently. Oh, wow. St. Louis and Winnipeg are tied. Tied in the series. I didn't realize that. This is the only game happening right now. Alright, that... Oh? No. That's gonna do it for the first period. turn that off. Chat, we roughly have about... I'm going to wrap up at 5,100 tonight. I don't think I have the stamina to pull 3,900 this evening. So we've got like 360 encounters to go. And then we'll let y'all go. Sorry, I think with like 5 days off from hunting, I've got to get myself back in like the mindset to hunt these for more than 3,000 encounters. And I'm just not hitting that right now. But it's all good. Oh, yeah. Wii Shop Wednesday tomorrow, folks. Ooh, double Qs. We got a Wii Shop Wednesday tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a daytime stream. We're looking for a 1 p.m. start. That is all I'm going to have time. All I'm going to have time for is a 1 p.m. start until like... We'll go until maybe like 5 or 5:30. Just see how many encounters we can get in. But that'll be our... It'll be a daytime Wii Shop Wednesday. And then I think we're going to try to take off Thursday. So we're not going to have any streams Thursday. We're going to come back Friday during the day. So we're looking at like a 2 or 3 p.m. start that night. Ooh, 3Gs. And then... We'll see if we want to get anything going on Saturday. Yeah, that'll be good. We got probably our last ad break coming up. Should be our last one for the evening. It's actually going to be nice. We're going to finish up before it gets too late as well. We are going to finish before the 4-hour mark, which I guess when you think about it, like the fact that we did 3,000 in 4 hours, still pretty good. I think the power hour definitely contributed to that. And who knows, maybe we'll be able to sneak out one shiny before we wrap up tonight. It's not the first time we've gotten a shiny in the last like 300 encounters of a stream, so could be pretty cool, we'll see. We are on the ad break right now. systems charging tonight. We're ready to go tomorrow afternoon. And yeah, I should be able to stream Monday and Tuesday of next week as well, so depending on what the schedule looks like. But yeah, I'm gonna try to try to schedule out a day to actually hold the subathon, because it's gonna have to be something where like I work the Friday night, but I don't work the Saturday night, and then I can like time it so that the Saturday night, or we literally start like Saturday day and then go until the stream needs to end. I also have to like clear off enough space on my computer to actually, you know, run what could be a 24-hour plus long stream. So but yeah, just other things that I want to kind of program and get set up for that. Because I think that subathon would be really cool, and the biggest thing is just going to be making sure that I'm marketing it properly. Like, everybody who follows roamer hunts should be made aware of it, so I've just got to make sure I get it in like the right Discord channels and the right circles. Even if we don't end up getting the G or the Q done before we hit 350,000, I think probably the big thing is that we got rid of the exclamation and question marks. Like, the fact that we took care of those within that time period is probably what saved me the most time. Because if I would have been like dragging my feet through the summer of like just trying to get those done, I would have hated the process, and I probably would have gotten burnt out a lot quicker. So the fact that we like kind of punched through those as quickly as we could is a good thing. Because that'd be a nightmare if we still had to deal with those. Ooh, a wild Scrafty. Let me catch that. Something tells me I have a Scrafty, but part of me also thinks I don't. So we're gonna throw a Night Ball. Just to be safe. Nice, both caught it. Alright, 150 encounters to go before we wrap up. Chat, thank you for hanging out tonight. It's been a pretty quiet stream for the most part. I mean, we had some lovely people swing through during the beginning of the stream. Sly Weasel popped in for a little bit. Raid from Chopin. Just getting reacquainted with folks. Getting reacquainted with the stream. It's gonna feel good to get the stream in today, stream in tomorrow, stream in Friday, and a stream potentially Saturday. So whatever it's gonna take to get us to 350,000, we will do it. Alright, we're coming up on our last 100. We've only had it happen twice. I shouldn't say only happen, like the fact that it has happened twice. Where we've gotten shinies in the last 100 encounters of the stream. It's happened twice. For the longest time I was like, oh, I wonder if we're ever going to do this. And we had like 2 in a row that were like back to back where we got shinies in like the last 100. It was crazy. So we're officially on our last 100 here. Let's see if we can do it a third time. If not, we will continue this tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central. Our quest to complete the shiny unknown decks looms closer and closer. gonna start getting cooking on dinner. Let's see. I gotta make sure I have like all the ingredients needed for it, but it should be good. I do gotta make a stop by the grocery store this week, but I'm gonna have to walk to the grocery store because my car's in the shop. So, ooh, that might actually be a. Hang on. What am I doing tomorrow? Tomorrow I have the things going on. Tomorrow might actually be a DoorDash or like a pizza day or something. Ooh, that's gonna be interesting. Okay. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Yeah, we'll take a look, see who we can raid tonight. Spread a little love, spread a little shiny luck their way. We're going to try to find another shiny hunter to pass a raid to. But I'm going to raid and run, so I will not be sticking around for too long, though. But be sure to join in on that raid, folks, if you're still hanging out. I gotta see who's online. I don't have a tab pulled up at the moment. I'll stay in chat for a little bit, but I gotta get cooking on dinner. Alright, last 6 encounters right here, folks. We got an A, we got a W, We got an L, N, G, and Y. No shinies tonight, chat, but thank you so much for hanging out tonight. Let's go ahead and locate a Twitch streamer who is shiny hunting. We'll go ahead and pass them your way. Let's see. Who do we got? Who do we got? Oh, there's an echo. Alright, let's go ahead and pass it over to... I'll pass it over to Wretched Pokemon. Wretched is doing a 10% Panpour shiny hunt in Black 2 and White 2. So folks, let's go ahead and press that special little raid button. How long has Wretched been streaming for? Okay, cool. They're still going to be running. Folks, thank you so much for hanging out tonight. Seriously, this has been a lot of fun. Glad to get back into the swing of things here. So, we'll be back tomorrow night at 1 p.m. Let's go ahead and gear up for a raid. We're raiding Wretched Pokemon. Be sure to spread some love and some shiny luck to Wretched stream. And we'll send you all on our way. Thank you so much for hanging out tonight, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace.